push that button on here for everybody then. So we can get everybody on in the business. Super fan, popular lie, good eating, good eating, good eating. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna show up in the place so you can see my face. Invite Wendy Mitchell to join us a live get. What's going on, Wendy? What you need, boo? You want to talk about something? Let me see something before these people get up here. If I can push this thing. I push invite or what I supposed to do now? I push invite. Now, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I push now. I tried to give you a chance. I would have let you talk before I got to talking. But see, it didn't even go through. So I guess you don't need to talk, baby. What you do? Good evening, good evening, good evening. I told you I was coming out this morning, but things didn't work out like that. So I still wanted to show my face in the place because we had a designated topic we supposed to been talking about today. So I definitely want to make sure Miss K, whatever her name was on here yesterday, is on here today. So I could give her the answers to the question that she had asked for because I told her I would. So I want to be a woman of my word and keep my word. But I don't know if she's going to be here or not. So the question was, yesterday she asked me what I end up going to prison for. And so I had told her, I said, oh, baby, that's a whole nother story within the steps. So I told her we was going to do another live about that because I had already been talking like an hour and something about what had been going on. So, boom. Now we can do a fresh live because I told her I would tell you. Okay, so, blah, 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 blah. So, boom. This what happened from the day of the beginning events had played out till we got that paperwork. Let me tell you. All right, so I used to hang with these girls. Well, I used to hang with these girls. I used to call them the peer group and the stealing group. When I used to be stealing, it used to be a booster and stuff like that. But I call myself not stealing no more. You feel me? But I still be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so, just because you don't do certain things no more, don't mean that, everybody stop when you stop or you don't know them people or be around them people no more or whatever. Okay, so, boom. So they had asked me to take them to the store, to take something at that time because it's the difference between stealing, boosting, and taking. You feel me? So they asked to take something at this time. So you got to go back. I got arrested in 2009. This is 25. So y'all remember when Coach and BB and all that was real, real popular back then? Okay, so we went to the Coach store and the BB store, and so they just had took some stuff out the rack. You ran out the door. You feel me? So I was the driver. And so I was like, I don't have to say that, but when you the driver, you get your little cut or whatever. Okay, so that was that Saturday. We went that Saturday to the store or whatever. All right, so when we got through and everything, I was still at home, married, doing my little thing or whatever, whatever. So when I got through taking them to the store or whatever, I ended up barbecuing. So by me barbecuing, I was running the house or whatever. So I let one of the other girls, I let her daughter spend the night with my children and everything. So I kept the children so that Saturday. So that Sunday came, yada, 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 yada. So here we go that Monday morning. So we get up Monday morning. So I'm finna get ready to take my children to school, drop them off, and then drop my husband off at work, do my little round circle. Look at y'all, gave them the little roses. Thank y'all. Oh yeah, thank y'all for them butterflies and the caterpillars and the glasses things and all that stuff last night. I still don't know what it is, but thank you anyway. I don't know where to be for. Y'all have to explain that to me one day on down the road. All right. So boom, here come that Monday, right? All right. So when I dropped them off and stuff, I had to go to community service, where you sign in He's supposed to be doing some little work or whatever to pay off some fines or restitution, probation or something, right? So I end up having to go do my community service. I was there Monday. So y'all know me. I'm a little greedy, right? So I'm at the little place doing my little community service. So then I had got a little hungry. So I'm like, man, like I'm tired of being here. I done did enough hours. I'm finna go home. So I can eat and stuff. Remember, mind you, I had barbecued and stuff, right? Okay, so Sunday, remember I kept the children and stuff that Saturday. So Sunday, when the girl came, we got her child. I still had my merchandise and stuff. Remember, I ain't go nowhere. I ain't do that. So I still was sitting on my stuff. You feel me? So, all right, so that Monday had came or whatever. So, like I said, I'm at community service. So then I leave, I come out home, I come back home early. So when I come back home, my door kicked open. Wide open. My door kicked open. So I'm like, what? You feel me? So, I told y'all I was in the streets and stuff, back then or whatever. So, first thing my mind comes to is, my door open. Somebody been in here. Let me check the spots or see what's going on. Then I had left my jewelry and stuff at home because I was going to community service, remember? So I left my purse and my jewelry in the living room. It was still there. Everything in the little spots was put up. You feel me? Everything. So I'm like, what the door doing open? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the door doing kicked in? So I had called my husband. Like I said, he was at work. So I'm like, somebody broke in the house. You feel me? So he was like, what? He was like, well, what they took? So I'm like, I don't see nothing they took. So I'm sitting at the house. So I end up rolling the blunt. You feel me? So, I had this closet where, how you open, you had a shelf at the top where you had purses and stuff. Then we had the shelves on the side. So Lil Lonzo was a baby at this time. So, his clothes was in our closet. You feel me? And so I'm sitting on the edge of the bed now, smoking and still thinking like, why is the door kicked in? Because ain't nothing really missing. So when I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, then I look in the closet because the closet door open. And all the purses and the BB stuff and the Coach stuff gone. And so by being right there in the closet, they had took a thing of my boy clothes too. You feel me? So by that being the only thing in the house missing, it's the same people that I took to the store to get it. You feel me? Layla came back and doubled down on me. Finna come back and get the stuff because I still had my stuff. You gonna steal from me? All right, so no. You can't do that. You feel me? You can't come kick nobody door in. You can't do stuff like that. So me, I'm trying to call the girls, cause I'm a little, straightforward, direct. Cause this ain't gonna go like this. This can't go like this. You feel me? So I need to see you. So I couldn't get no answer from nobody. I couldn't get no answer from nobody. All this, all that, whatever. So my husband was like, so when I tell him that the purses and the clothes and all this stuff gone, I said, I'm like, I know who did this. You feel me? Like, I'm finna go beat the up. You feel me? So he was like, no. He was like, I can't let you go nowhere by yourself and them folks kicking in doors and all that stuff. You don't know who might be with them and all that. And I'm just like, I ain't worried about who might be with them and all that. I'm like, they just on some geek shit. You feel me? So he was like, wait till I clock out and come home. You feel me? So he clocked out and came home. So when he came home, we got in the car. So I'm telling him to take me right here, right there, whatever, where the girl stay at. Because mind you, I can't get nobody on the phone now. Okay. So when I go to one of the girls' houses, like I said, we all knew each other because we hung together. You feel me? So I knew they children, they knew my children, and all this or whatever. So you know how you have some nieces or nephews or whatever, but they be kind of grown, but they up under you. So at this time, they were like probably 19, 20, her nieces know. That when I went and knocked on the door, they let me in, come on in, and they were like, oh, hey, Evan, your hair so cute. So I'm like, where your auntie at? You feel me? Because that's what type of time I'm on. I ain't being friendly. I can't help for your auntie. So she was like, oh, she ain't here, all this, whatever. So I was like, well, tell her I'm looking for her. So as I get ready to turn around and leave out the door, I see a pair of my glasses up. I'm sitting on one of the girl's forehead. You feel me? Like that. So I'm like, I said, where you get them glasses from? She was like, oh, they my auntie glasses. I said, no, them my glasses. Let me get them up off you. So when I snatched the glasses up off her, she jumped up at me. You feel me? And we wrapped up. So, I had to put my hands on her. Then, then little cousin jumped in. So I'm in there fighting. So I guess that I had been in there too long. You feel me? So by the time next thing you know, my husband kicked the door in, the back door in, because mind you, I went through the front door, remember? So I guess he don't know what's going on in the house. And then he just know I ain't came back out the house. So he kicked the back door in. So when he come in, all I hear is, oh, he got a gun, he got a gun. We finna call our mama, we finna call the police, we finna call out. So he was like, give me these phones. Y'all ain't finna call no damn bad. You feel me? So he took they cell phones and I took my glasses out the girl's forehead. You feel me? And we left. So we got in the car. So by the time I'm going back, we coming back down First Avenue, I get a phone call. And so, you know how people be talking crazy, all the way, well, you came to my house. I was like, you came to my house. I came to your house. What's up? You know what I'm saying? What you want to do? You feel me? Because this street, you know what I'm saying? We got to handle this in the street. You feel me? So she got out the phone out there because she ain't want to do nothing or whatever. So then, boom, her other sister had called. So you know how them other people that don't really be in no drama, and they be kind of quiet, but you know about them. So her other sister had called. And so the phone had rung, so I was like, hello. So she was like, Ebony? She was like, Ebony. So I was like, yeah. So she was like, this, blase, blase. So she was like, I don't know what my sister did to y'all or what my sister did to you. But my children was over there in that house. You feel me? And you and your husband came in with a gun and I'm finna call the police. So I was like, okay. You feel me? I respect what you say. She ain't called out of line or nothing like that. No B's, no A, no that. She just called and said exactly what she said. So I'm like, all right. So I told my husband, I was like, these folks talking about calling the police. You feel me? I was like, you need to go back to work just in case they call the police or whatever. And I just handled the home business, whatever. So he was like, calling the police. He was like, you ain't calling no police. You feel me? Like, where they do that at? People always be doing stuff, and then it be street stuff or whatever they claim it to be, and then they turn around and call the police, but did nobody call the police when you had your damn feet up at my door. You feel me? I ain't called the police. I ain't called the police now time. And I should have, but listen. Okay, so all right, so we still coming down the First Avenue part or whatever. Okay, so we get to the light. I tell my husband he need to go back to work or whatever, just in case something happen. So I go back home. So he be like, well, if they tell me to call the police, you need to call the police or whatever. So I'm like, okay, you just go back to work. You just go back to work. You feel me? So I get in the house. I'm just finna tell y'all how quick. That's why I have to go detail for detail. I can't just say I went to prison for this or I went to prison. Now I want you to know the facts, the details, how quick it happened, and the okay, the baby, I was shocked. Okay, listen. So I get in the house now. I get in the house from coming down the street, 10 minutes away now. I get in my house. So now I get my husband on back in the car. So he's saying, call the police, call the police. Okay. So I call the police. The police pull up. We sitting in my living room. We sent up them making a report about my house being broke in, and before we could get to the items being taken, they called in on the radio, radar thing saying Ebony Mixon and Alonzo Burrell need to be brought in for questioning for home invasion. So I'm like, what? So me and the police officer sitting in my living room. So he was like, ma'am, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to take you in for questioning. So I'm like, you gotta take me in for questioning. I'm like, you ain't got no warrant. You ain't got that, you know. So he was like, I'm in your house. You feel me? Like, babe, I'm in your house. You know, you can lock up the door and come with me for questioning, or I'm gonna have to take you down for questioning. But you got to go down for questioning. You feel me? So I said, okay. So I locked up the door. That was kicked in, man. You remember the door was kicked in when I got home. So now, okay, I lock up the doors and all this, and I go in the police car with him. I go in the police car with him. We get down to the station. Mind you, my husband's still at work now. I don't see none of these people there. Okay, so I go down to the station. They kept asking me what happened. So I just kept saying I was at community service. I didn't know what they was talking about. You feel me? I didn't know what they was talking about. I was at community service. So you know how you be in a little room or whatever for a long little time or whatever. So I had to use the bathroom. So when I came out the room to use the bathroom, I see my husband in one room. Then I see them in a whole nother room with about 8 family members. You feel me? So I'm like, what the hell? You know, or whatever. So I go to the bathroom. And then I had to go back to my little interrogation room or whatever. Boom. So they put me and my husband on a 72-hour investigation. So we had to be locked up for 72 hours while they investigated what the people in the report and stuff was saying, right? Okay. During our 72-hour investigation, them folks went in my property and got my keys and went back in my house and searched my house. Okay. When y'all went back in my house and searched my house, y'all found the 2 cell phones, the glasses, scales, weed, pills. You feel me? Now you got extracurricular stuff. Now you feel me going on. Okay. So boom, the detective called me back from down upstairs because I'm on my 72 hours now. So the detective called me from upstairs to come back down. They talked to him. They like the second day now. You feel me? So the little detective man was like, Miss Mixon, considering what we found in your house, I think you might want to tell us a little bit more than you being at community service. You feel me? So I'm like, what you found in my house? So of course he started telling me all this, all that, or whatever. So I'm like, man, dog, damn. And so they already knew that we was on probation. They knew I had just had a baby. They knew all this. So you know how they come with yeah, you just had a baby, you're on probation, you might well save yourself. It don't make no sense for both of y'all to go to prison and all this, all that, or whatever, whatever. So I just was like, I'm still at community service. I'm still at community service. So they sent me back upstairs. The detective don't want to talk to me no more. He mad at me. He tired. He tired. Right. So that's just the regular detective. Both that was just the regular detective. So now here we go. On the third day, now 72 hours almost up now. 72 hours almost up now. I'm tired. I'm ready to get this over with and go and see what's next. You feel me? Now, I just told y'all everything that happened. And I ain't had no problem with telling them exactly what happened. But see the thing about it, if you gonna tell it, you gotta tell it all. And I couldn't tell it all because I didn't want to implicate my husband coming in there with that gun. because it was going to automatically violate his federal probation anyway. So I just felt like if we were gonna end up going down, it was gonna be going down for whatever they found or said. It wasn't gonna be on my count. It wasn't gonna be on my words. You feel me? So I ain't say nothing. All right. So here we go. The third day. Now this day right here, here come the federal little detective people, and you know how they be talking. Oh, we got Mr. Burrell this time. We got Mr. Burrell this time. Throw a little dusty little VCR tape on the table. You feel? Throw a little VCR tape on the table. You know, like they got some this they evidence. You know, oh, we got Mr. Burrell this time. Oh, it's over. We got, you know what I'm saying? So but I'm still like, what? So mind you, remember I told y'all we was separated. All we did was go back to the house basically and pull up. I sent my husband back to work and I went in the house. I called the police, remember? So I hadn't seen my husband, talk to my husband or nothing. So now this the third day. Now the Fed people over there, you know, and I'm, you know, now they done ruffle my feathers a little bit. Now I'm feeling some type of way. So I asked the man, I said, can I speak to my husband for a second? You feel me? To see what he want me to say or do or whatever. So he was like, no ma'am, you know, you can't, sorry, we can't let you do that or whatever. And so I remember until driving down my app, you know, or whatever. And I was like, well, I can't tell you nothing else besides me being at community service. You feel me? So the man said, okay, okay. That's your fine. That's your fine. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, cause hold on, I'm for real. So, I'm for real. So the man was like, okay, so that's your final decision. That's it, okay? So boom, he sent me back upstairs. All right, we through talking to you. All right, use the community service. So now, just say I 72 hours up now. All right, it's time to transfer. You feel? Okay. Now they done got their little evidence. We done did our 72-hour investigation. You know, I know what happened. We just know what happened. You feel me? I'm like, shoot. Okay. They opened the door for me, so I can't get no breaking and entering thing. You know, this all I'm thinking about on my 72 hours. I'm thinking about the case and what they could try to charge me for. You feel? So I'm like, okay, they opened the door for me, so they can't get me for breaking and entering. So I'm like, okay, we got the fine. Yeah, okay, we got the fine. And then so I'm like, okay, whatever. So bam. So now the police getting us for the transport. So the Jefferson County sheriffs come to the city now. We finna transfer from the city to the county jail. So I'm like, man, what's my charges? You feel me? Cause this ain't going nowhere. So the man was like, hold on, let me look at the paperwork. And man said, oh, you got first, he said, you got 3 first degree robberies. I said, what? I said, three first degree robberies. Then, so I'm like, man, shit. So I'm like, how much my bond is? You feel me? So I can get up out of here. So he was like, you got 3 locked bonds. Oh my God. This shit just got real. This shit just got real. What? So we get to the county jail, you feel me? Get booked in, 3 first degree robberies, 3 locked bonds, and a probation violation. What the fuck just happened? Huh? So I'll get my lawyer up there, you feel me? Because I'm confused. I don't understand. I'm lost. Can somebody tell me what just happened? What we going on then? So my lawyer come up there, right? So I'm telling my lawyer and all this, and he get fired, and we talking or whatever. So I'm saying, how did we get from point A to point Z, all the way from a fight to a robbery? You feel me? Because I ain't never in my mind think about no robbery. You feel me? But when my husband came in with that gun, that changed it from a fight to a robbery because a weapon was involved. So those are facts of cases. But we didn't end up getting no three robberies. They ended up dropping them down to two second degree robberies instead of three first degree robberies. But that gun, and I got one robbery for one cell phone, one robbery for the other cell phone, and one robbery for them glasses. I promise y'all. And that's what I went to prison for. Three first degree robberies for two cell phones and a pair of glasses that they had found at the house. And I ended up getting a 20 split file. But I had did like 8 months going back and forth for court, like on that probation stuff and all that or whatever. So that's how I ended up really being like 5 years and 11 months. So I just went on and said 6 years. You feel me? And that's what I ended up going to prison for. And that was my case, and that's how it happened, and that's what came from a fight to a robbery. It changed from the weapon being involved. And that's what changed it right there. Playing with guns. And when I first got locked up, I was sick. I was sick. And I felt like it was my fault because he was just trying to protect me. You feel me? And then I felt like it was his fault because if he wouldn't have had the damn gun, then it would have never changed to nothing. It would have never changed to nothing like that. Because I don't play with guns. You feel me? So I would have never had a gun to be playing with. But we rolled them charges together. And that's how it ended up panning out. But no, 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 no. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, like it be a lot of stuff that be in between, and it be a lot of stuff, you know. So then, like to sit here, 2009 to 2015, get out in 15, from 2015 to 2025, which is 10 years later, to still be playing or involved or pulling out guns. We got a big problem with guns for you fella. You got a problem with guns, you feel me? And it's a lot of problems that been caused with you and guns, you feel me? So it's a lot of stuff that don't be really like sitting well with me or just be on my mind or just be thinking because like how did all this. And then I was telling somebody else came up and was like, your your husband that trying to kill you is the same is your co-defendant too. You feel me? Like it's just wrapped up around to a whole bunch of toxic and confusion and bull crap and red flags and blue flags and yellow flags too. So that love and honesty, that loyalty stuff, get up out of there. Get up out of there. And that be my problem. Sometimes I be too loyal to people that don't deserve it. You feel me? But that's my problem with loyalty. Because if I mess with you, I mess with you. If I don't, I don't. You feel me? But I don't think it was like I try not to look at it like a situation like that. It was just like a situation that had happened. You feel me? And I went, you know, out of my first reaction was to retaliate and fight. And his first reaction, I guess, sitting in that car too long and not knowing what happened. You feel me? Like, then you can't blame a person for trying to protect you, but then if you wouldn't have came out that gun, then it wouldn't have been a big old issue. So it's just like yada 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 yada. I'm so sad right now, baby. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. That was years ago. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. I be confused, baby. I be confused. I don't be sad a lot. I just be thinking heavily, heavy. Be a lot of different stuff on my mind. So, can I cash help you on Wednesday? Um, for what? Can you tell the story of what happened to you, please? What happened to me when, please, baby? Huh? Cause yesterday we went over the this. You talking about what happened to my face? Cause this what we were talking about yesterday, and we was talking about the police officer that was there when I woke up, spitting up the blood that I told I was gonna find her when I came home. And then we met the other day, and I told y'all little details and stuff about that. And I made sure that I stopped and went back because I said there was a lot of people that was asking what happened, and yada yada yada. So I made sure that I filled them in yesterday. And so while we was talking yesterday, I had ended up saying something. Oh, I know what I said. I was showing them my Faith to Faith book. Because we was talking about the daily breads. And I put out a different book. And I said, y'all don't know about this Faith to Faith. I said, I got hooked on that Faith to Faith in prison. And so somebody heard me say prison and then wanted to know why I had went to prison. So since we had been talking about the face so long, I told her there would have to be another story or another live. And so I told them that I was going to make sure I came back live today because I disappear. You feel me? So I told them that I was going to come back live today. I said this morning, but I ain't make it this morning. So I had to make it before I went to bed, before the day was over, so I could keep my word. And so I told them I was going to tell them about that. Now, if you talking about the face, they're going to ask everyday queen. I kind of know that, you feel me? But I be forgetting. But I don't like keep saying it over and over and over. You feel me? I be wishing or thinking like they already know by now. But I know that it do be new people that be just seeing my live or even just hearing about me. You feel me? So I know that out of respect, I do need to bring you up to par. You feel me? But I also know that once I go to talking or try to tell you in the simplest form, I'm still going to get probably 30 more minutes going on about that. You feel me? But the same fella that I was just talking about that kicked that door in with that pistol is the same fella that did this to my face. That's what we were basically talking about. My husband. My husband. My choice. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Dummy number one. Dummy number one. Dummy number one. That's why I always raise my hand. Dummy number one. So I hope I got you somewhere up to date. Oh, what I'm saying. I love your accent. Where you from, baby? I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. So I guess they would say that's down south. So I'm a little country, I guess. And then with my bones and stuff being broken and my little lip and stuff, I have to speak certain words like F and P's and stuff like that slower or different. So that's that Alabama. Where you from? 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 Where y'all from? Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Who else in Alabama? Who else in Alabama? Show me some love. Show me some love. Show me some love, Alabama. Show me some love. Show me some love, Alabama. Let me give y'all love. One for the Father, two for the Son, and three for the Holy Spirit. I give y'all three loves. So I give y'all three loves, okay? Three loves. And I don't know what that girl name was. Oh, you from Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, in the house, Houston, Texas, Arkansas, California, Tuskegee, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Queens, New York, Memphis, Tennessee, Detroit, Michigan, North Carolina, Florida, New Jersey. We got Philly in the house, Nashville in the house, Charlotte, North Carolina, Indianapolis, Chicago, Kansas City, Miami. Okay, baby, y'all love y'all city. Where y'all from, baby? Y'all, hey, I ain't got that many reactions out of my conversation. Y'all couldn't wait to tell where y'all were from. Shoot. Can I come? Because y'all excited about y'all city. Georgia. What part of Georgia? You know, I just got my license for Georgia. That's what I posted the other day. So now I'm certified in Alabama and Georgia to be a caregiver. And helping others actually helps me. Because I be laughing and playing, and that ain't no work to me. Going to do something for somebody else that can't help themselves is nothing to me. People get lonely, sick, and shut in, and they don't have nobody to check on them. They don't have nobody to give them a hug, and they don't have nobody to come sit and talk to them. So I don't say it's work. It's pulling up on my people. Yeah. And I love it. And helping others do help you because if you helping somebody else and trying to focus, on making them feel better, it takes the focus off of you or feeling bad for you or thinking about you because you're busy doing something for somebody else. So, and that helped me because I told y'all after I got blah, 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 you feel me? It was like 6 months later, and I ended up getting a call from one of my little people. It was like, I got a patient for you. And my family and people, they was like, a patient? How you finna go take care of somebody? And somebody need to be taking care of you. You just 6 months out the stretcher. You feel me? You just 6 months out the stretcher. I said, well, it's somebody that need me because it's somebody that's in worse shape than me. And remember, he ended up sending me to Ed. And when I first got Ed won 100 pounds soaking wet. He was bedbound in diapers, couldn't turn from the left or the right. And yeah. And I got Ed up, sitting up. We got Ed walking. We got Ed back talking. We got Ed out of diapers into boxers. We said, you a real. I said, you a real man. I said, real man, what, boxers? Yeah. You a man now. You don't wear no diapers no more like no little boy. You done growed up. Yeah. Yay! And we brought Ed back to life and gave Ed some life. You feel me? And that's he sent me there purposely. You feel me? And he knew what type of person Ed was, and he knew what type of person Ed needed to be on him or encourage him or build him up. And Ed remember those daily breads in the morning. Ed remember us praying together every day. Ed remember us touching, agreeing. And you know what? Ed got a short term memory, but I bet you Ed remember Ebony Mixon. I bet you Ed remember Butterfly Nation. Now he might not remember y'all name, and he gonna ask you 15 times in 15 minutes. But he ended up remembering Ebony Mixon, and it surprised me, especially, like when I stopped working there and then like went back to check on him and stuff. Yeah, he remembered me. I said, it made me feel good. He said, you took care of me. I said, that right, yeah, I did. So I just said the other day I gotta go check on Ed. They're my partner forever. But people, and he was 50. You know what I'm saying? Young fella still had life in him and stuff. But just because something happens, don't mean that life is over or you give up. Something happened. Okay, we bounce back. We recoup from that. We don't just lay down in that and let that be that. And so y'all know I was just coming out of my situation, and I ain't lay down and wallow. I ain't lay around and cry or say I couldn't do this or I was tired. So if I could get up, I know you finna get up. You finna get up. So look, y'all remember, let me tell y'all, so before Ed had his little accident or whatever, Ed was a party dude. You feel me? So they had told him that Ed was a party dude and stuff like that. That he used to go to the strip club all the time and stuff like that. So guess what? When they was in there trying to make Ed do them arm lifts and exercise and they couldn't get no action out of Ed, guess what I did? Tied had one of them Welch's grape juice thing, like a champagne bottle, but it was really grapefruit thing, and tied a little sock thing around it and put it on the end of the bed. So he could start. I said, show me how you throw them bottles back in the club. Show me how you pop them bottles. Look, he was moving his hand for that. So I had to use whatever I could use to get his mind to click back into, what he was moving around doing. And so so he started popping them bottles, and look, that went there working. So then we had to start using the other arm, pop them bottles over there too, baby, pop them, pop them, pop them. Then I started getting him up out that wheelchair, getting him out the bed, sitting up in the wheelchair, because his balance was off. He couldn't sit up, like by himself. But we worked a good little way with Ed. Ed was our butterfly our butterfly patient. We got a butterfly baby. Oh, let me tell y'all something else good that happened last night. Oh, I asked them people at Choirverse too about that communion. Listen, so I don't know who was on here last night and who went, but so I'm giving y'all my updates. But y'all remember when I went to the Rich Homie Quan funeral, and I had told y'all that I ain't had no ticket, no reservation, no nothing. All I know, it was free to the public. So if it was free to the public, I got to be able to get in. Ain't no way I'm gonna get turned around. You feel me? So look, I'm in Alabama. I done went to the car rental place, rented me a car, got on the road, drove 2 hours to Georgia, like I had a reservation, like I had a confirmation or something. I did one there, but on the hope and the prayer. And so I told y'all I had to reach the funeral baby, because when I ended up walking up, it was a girl that walked right up to me and she was holding her baby on her hip. And so I was like, how many tickets you got? And she was like, two, one for me and one for my baby. I said, they might not take the baby ticket. You feel me? Let me use your ticket. And she was like, okay, okay. And so, boom, that's how I got in the gate right there. And like I said, we had to go through about 3, 4 gates of security. This man was an Atlanta rap star. I was nobody in my mind. I'm a civil citizen or whatever. And so that's how I got in in the funeral. But the little boy, he was real like shy. He ain't like people, and he ain't like taking pictures. But he came straight to me, and we took a picture on her phone. She wanted to get a picture because she was so shocked. So she took her picture. I went in the funeral. They went on about their business. I ain't, we ain't exchanged numbers or nothing like that. Well, after the funeral, I ended up posting my pictures and stuff like that. And I always tell the whole story. So I had told them about my butterfly baby. My funeral baby that had blessed me to get in the door. And anyway, the videos and stuff went viral and stuff. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And the girl found me on TikTok and sent me the pictures that me and her son had took outside the funeral, y'all. And I was like, oh, and I came and posted them. That was our funeral, baby. So last night, she sent me some pictures of him in his little softball uniform. You feel me? And it just melted my little heart. So I gotta show y'all the pictures of our little funeral, baby. Our little updated pictures. And it made me be feeling good when like she ended up finding me. She ain't know me from a can of paint. She ain't know who I was. She ain't know nothing what had happened to me. She ain't know that I was on no social media. She ain't know my name. She ain't know nothing. You feel me? Nothing. And like I told you, I said the video ended up going viral. Then about 2, 3 days later, boom, there she was in my messages. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I can't believe you. Like, this is you. You feel me? And so I told her that was gonna forever be my baby. And I went up there and took some little stuff on Valentine's and we took pictures together. And then now she just sent me some softball pictures. So y'all know I'm finna have to see my little baby, my little man. You feel me? And I just be loving it. So that be making me feel good when people remember me or show me love and stuff like that. And that's how it was at the funeral. I told y'all that it was so many butterflies and people there because every time I seen a butterfly, I was taking pictures with them. And so I told y'all it was the same security people at the little front part of the whole funeral that they seen me taking so many pictures with people they ended up thinking I was famous on the red carpet and stuff. Then there was another butterfly that was doing the security and the seating in the funeral. And then I met her in the hallway. And so she was just hugging on me and loving on me and telling me about how I encouraged her and how she know that she was gonna end up in a domestic violence situation and all this. So I'm seeing people with coming in with green wristbands now. You feel me? So I'm like, what's them green wristbands for? So she was like, oh, that's for family and the VIP and stuff. So I'm like, family and VIP? I said, I sure would. I can be in the VIP and go down there to the front with the celebrities and the stars. And she said, oh, you want to go to the front? So I'm like, girl, I'm barely in the door. How am I going to get to the front? And had been talking to her that whole time. And then she pulled her jacket back. That's when I seen the little bad thing and the walkie-talkie. And she was like, I can take you to the front. And I'm like, huh? And so then when I was like, well, I got 3 more people with me. I got to get them. We got to go together. And so she was like, okay, y'all just hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And then we went down there and sat in our seats. And that's how we ended up sitting next to Boosie now. Boosie and his fiance and they entourage and Rollo and them and they entourage. I didn't even know who Rollo was or whatever. But, and so we ended up getting right down there in the front, right in VIP, right with no plans, right with no tickets, right with nothing. And then I had went up there and got 2 of my butterflies to go to the to the funeral with me. We up at 5:30 in the morning, like we really got some plans and we finna go in now. We up, yes. But God worked it right out and everybody was playing, thinking I was laughing, thinking I was playing, I was dead serious. So I gotta post the pictures of my little baby. And then I gotta post the pictures of the video that I did right after the Rich Homie Corn funeral. Cause everybody was waiting on me to tell them how the funeral was and who I saw or what was going on, yada yada yada. But no, I gotta tell y'all about the blessing before I tell you about the funeral, because without the blessing, I wouldn't have got in the funeral. You feel me? If God hadn't had that lady and that baby right there that just opened the door for me, because I ain't had no green light. Ain't nobody that gave me permission to do nothing. I just went. You feel me? I didn't know he was going to have it lined up that sweet. And then I met a girl up there that had did a college paper on me. I did her video. I did a video with them bringing the casket at the thing with the mama and the dad and the horses, the carriage, all that. And they were saying, dog, Emily, was you working security? Because then no one tell you to move, get back, or nothing. It was just like I was just having my way. I had a ball. I'm sorry, I had a ball. And it's probably in the front, I guess it probably a sad time, but I was enjoying myself. And Rich Homie looked real nice. Like I told everybody, he looked real nice. And them fingernails was so clean. I don't know what kind of top coat they used on that boy for hands. But they had him like the casket then had the like the rope way right there so you couldn't go past there. So then they had like a little space, and then we was like lined up behind there, and you wait your turn to go on up and sing. So I'm standing back before I didn't even have to be up on the casket. I seen them fingernails sparkling, baby. They was sparkling harder than the ring was he had on that thing, that big diamond sitting up there. But them fingernails, I don't know what kind of top coat it was. I ain't seen no gloss like that since. That must have been specially made, baby, because it was popping. And then I did cry though at the funeral, because when we was coming in and they had the venue in the foyer all decorated with his stuff and his album covers and big flowers and pictures and all that. It was real nice, and the music and stuff playing. So they had this little thing over there, but I didn't know what it was at the time. It looked like it was Chinese, and then it had the crown sitting on it. And so y'all know how silly I be sometimes and be playing. So I had got the crown and was putting it all on my head and stuff. Cause I'm thinking it's just a crown that he had probably did a video or something in, or album cover or something in. I ain't thinking that this the crown that they actually took in the church to put on his head during the funeral, y'all. I was like, oh my God, Jesus, I had that man crown on my head. You feel me? Like, I put that man crown on my head. And when they, brought it in on that thing that I thought was a piece of Chinese wood or something, it was actually the top to the casket, y'all. Oh my God. Look, that ass freaked me out. You feel me? I'm like, oh Jesus, I was out there playing too much. You feel me? Like this man, they actually put that crown on that boy's head. I ain't lying. Now that part, that touched me. When they crowned that boy. When they crowned that boy, it touched me. And I said, I had that crown on my head. You feel me? So that was my highlight and hype of everything or whatever. I took a lot of pictures, a few little pictures and stuff like that, and I posted them or whatever. But how did she get up in there? How did who get up in there? How did she? Who? I'm just getting here. Who we talking about? We just talking. We just freelance talking. Finna get ready to get off here. We've been talking about several different little things. Cause we was talking about how I went to prison. Then we was talking about guns. Then we went to talking about the baby. Then we went to talking about Rich Homie Coin funeral. Then we went to talking about the video from yesterday. So, Purple Rain asked someone that had an extra ticket. Yeah, listen. So, boom. We walk up. Oh, we were real organized too. So we park in this big old parking lot. It was nothing like I had expected it to be in my vision, in my mind. You feel me? When we pulled up, it was nothing like I thought. So everybody, parked, everything organized, ain't nothing out of line and stuff. Ain't no people hanging out or nothing. So when we get out the car, we gotta walk straight up, basically to the arena front. You feel me? But we walking to the arena front, but we ain't got no tickets. You feel me? So we walking to the arena front. All right. So the first little lady that was at the first part, the beginning part, the first step of security had, that's where you get your ticket and stuff at. So like I said, we didn't have no ticket to give. So I kind of stood back for a sec. I ain't just walk up on the ticket lady or the security lady. I just kind of stood back. And as I stood back, it went 3 minutes. It was so fast. That's what I'm saying. Like the girl just walked up out of nowhere. And I just asked her, and she ended up having an extra ticket that she didn't have to use for her son. And I ended up going right in the door. And so they had the visual that was from like 8 to 10. And then it was going to stop at 10 and then have another one from 10 to 11. And then it posted did the funeral. But mind you, we ain't had no tickets. So when we got in, we couldn't go back out and come back in. So we was stuck through the whole process. So as we sitting there, so I go in first. So my other two people was outside, trying to come in while I be inside trying to find them some tickets. You feel me? But by the time I walked back to the front, they was coming on in. They had got some tickets from somebody else. That's what I'm saying. It just worked out like that. And then so as we was sitting there probably about 2 hours or whatever, now I got used to bathroom. And so, it was so many people in that building, in that place, it was hard to pull off the Wi-Fi. So I was going back towards the front of the building to get some more service. And as I was going back to the front of the building is when I ran into the little head security lady. And so she was like, oh my God, it's you feel me? And then she came up, and started hugging me and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, hey, and so she was telling me about she had been watching me. She knew my whole story and all. And I always get people because I be saying, you don't know my whole story. You feel me? And so I said, what's been going on? And then so she told me, and she was on point. So I was like, girl, you do know my whole story. And so we out there, whatever, just talking, like I said. And then as I'm out there talking, like I said, I'm seeing other people come in now. It's like a new crowd, you feel me? And then I started seeing them arm bracelets. So I'm like, what is the green arm bracelets for? And so the lady was like VIP, down in the front where the celebrities and the family be at. And so I was like, ooh, I wish I could get down there with the celebrities and the family and stuff. You feel me? And so the lady was like, you want to go down there? You want to go down there? And I'm like, huh? I'm like, I'm barely in the building, baby. How I'm gonna get to the front too? I barely got in here. I ain't finna try my luck trying to go to no front. And then boom, she pulled a little jacket back, like, I got you. I'm security. And walked us right to the front. So my life in the end, there they go with them puzzle pieces again. I told y'all, TikTok give y'all 1 hour. TikTok gonna give y'all 1 hour. Look, I talk too much for TikTok. talk too much for TikTok. I talk too long for TikTok. But yeah, oh, okay, God. Yeah, who did that to you? Becky, you late. But it was my husband. You gotta go back a little bit and watch some other videos or get some more in-depth details, but it was my husband. And I was pronounced dead. I was supposed to be 100% paralyzed. I was supposed to be 100% nerve damage. My right eye was supposed to be gone. It sits between two plates. That's why you see that puffiness right there. And sometimes that puffiness be mucus and it be getting full. And if it get too full, it'll start coming out my eye because of them plates and stuff in the plates right there because my bone grew back wrong. And I had a big old hole in my face. And I got a custom made jaw jaw plate that they had to order. And it took about 2 days for it to come. And so I just was a, a, a lost cause. I just was counted out, gone, you know, RIP, out of here. But God, and so God just gave me grace and mercy, saved me and brought me back, gave me life, gave me breath, woke me up, and I still had my right mind, allowed me to remember, allowed me to talk even when my mouth was wired together, twisted up and everything. And he fixed all that. My mouth was twisted, and I told you about some of the other ways that he gave me a breakthrough. But my mouth was twisted, and why I love the choir and the sing at church and stuff is because my mouth got untwisted doing praise and worship, singing at church. And we got that on live video also. So the doctors didn't physically do my ending results. I didn't have to go back to the hospital. God ended up healing me at home in front of the whole world. And so we changed my gauze and we talked and we cried and we went to the doctor and we fussed and we cussed and we forgave the husband and we buried him and we fussed and we cussed and and here we are trying to do better. Now, I love y'all. Go like, follow, share. Like, love, follow, share. Like, love, follow, share. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now, look at my sister. Hey, Victoria Shelton, Carmen, in Della. All right. And I love y'all for tuning in to YouTube because we have definitely been off the radar on YouTube. So we coming all the way from the bottom with YouTube. So thank y'all for tuning in. And I love y'all. I want y'all to take the Lord with you and the rest will follow. Remember to put on your full armor of God because we do not wrestle with flesh and blood. We wrestle with spirits and principalities. And the only way to fight in that battle is through prayer and scripture. It's through prayer and scripture. And oh yeah, y'all like to inbox me now if y'all need a daily bread, cause we back on the road, baby. So inbox me and let me know if you need a daily bread, cause they going out tomorrow. Now I love y'all. Sleep with the angels. Say your prayers and good night.